What the fuck is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you guys are having a great holiday weekend, great long weekend. Welcome into Derelict Sports. It's your boy. Yeah, the Canadians not. It's your boy, though, Nick, alongside Derelict Dale, like always. Again, I hope you guys are having a long holiday weekend. And if you're not Canadian, like our bub over here, if you're not Northern and you're here in the United States, hopefully you had a great long Memorial Day weekend, had a fun day, a nice day off of work. Lots of baseball on today. Lots of barbecue and lots of good food. Lots of just kicking back, relaxing. I had the pleasure of celebrating my brother's 29th birthday today. We had the family dinner today. Little bastard chose tacos, so it's Memorial Day. Where one of the most American days that you could have, and he wanted tacos. So we had a little Cinco de Mayo, a little Cinco de Memorial today, dude. It was a good day. So
That's an interesting decision.
he's a picky eater, so we had a little Mexican food on Memorial Day. So good way to spend it. The tacos were good. A little American taco night, baby. You gotta love a white people taco night. That's the shit. So it was a good time. Been a good weekend, man. Like I said, a lot of baseball today. Guardians right now are playing the Dodgers. Just started a 3-game set with the Dodgers. Not looking good already. Gavin Williams on the bump tonight. I saw our boy Shohei hit a back-to-back days now with leadoff home run. So not looking good for the Guardians. I believe it's 4 or 5 to 1 there. The Cardinals lost today. Cardinals Baltimore. We had them on the card today on the Daily Derelict card. We have 3 bets today. We got OKC later on tonight. We're 0-2 so far today, so we're hoping that they can at least get us on the board. We've had Colorado Cubs played earlier today, had them over 8 runs. I don't know where the offense
Eight,
went in that one.
eight. Fucking all the fucking Cubs did in Cincinnati was just smash balls everywhere and put up 11 runs and make the Reds bullpen look fucking horrible. And then they get the worst team at baseball. We're just gonna win a 3-1 game.
We're just gonna slide on by. Yeah, I picked that. Yeah, that Pete Crow Armstrong guy had a big
Yeah,
old granddaddy last night. I think, but I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Saturday.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he did. But yeah, not today. So 3-1 Cubs win today. Like I said, then we had the Cardinals playing Baltimore today, and of course, as Dale would put it, Old Man Morton came out and got the dub today. So St. Louis takes the fall. Not a good day for baseball, but a lot of baseball. So we'll get into that. Obviously, we'll get into the Pacers Knicks games from last night, and then of course we will chat a little bit about hockey. I'm going to be a little shorter one tonight, probably about an hour. Really not a lot going on. Kind of a slow weekend. I mean, for a long weekend, there really wasn't a lot going on. There really wasn't any, no UFC really, no big fights really. I mean, obviously we had Pacers Knicks. That was cool. We had some fun games. We did have the Monaco Grand Prix Sunday, which was a good one. That was a fun time. So if anybody got to, anybody watched that, hopefully you enjoyed it. McLaren got the W. So that was a good one. But really, kind of for a 4-day weekend here in the States, kind of a slow weekend, honestly. I mean, really not like no baseball stories really stand out. It really just wasn't really just didn't stand out for any reasons, honestly.
I was gonna ask you. So the Monaco thing. So the guy had to take a pit stop penalty near the end, and that's
Yeah,
I
so
I
apparently
didn't
I
quite
think you
understand.
have. So I'm still relatively new to this, right? Still
Okay,
only a couple years into this. From what I understand, I think you have to pit twice in a race. I think you have to at least take 2 pit stops. It's like a 2 pit minimum.
hmm
And I believe so he had only taken the guy in first, Max Verstappen, who when I first started watching, he was like running the show, right? I mean, Red Bull, he's the big dog. Um, he had only done one. He was leading the race, and he had only taken 1 pit stop. And if he didn't take 2 pit stops, it's a 30-second penalty. So even if he
okay,
obviously finished in first, unless he won by 31 seconds, he's going to finish first but not get the win, right? He's going to finish in
right.
first, but the guy behind him is going to get the win. So he was, and I saw somebody comment on Twitter that was like, oh, it wasn't a mistake, it was strategy. And I'm like, yeah, I understand the strategy, because obviously he would have, if they would have gotten like a red flag or like something that came out, I think that nullifies the second pit stop to a point. So I don't think you have to take it. So obviously, if he would have been first and a flag would have came up, he would have, it would have been. It's basically one of the way I put it was, it was one of it was the the as old as time situation of, you're the genius if it works, you're an idiot if it doesn't, right? You stayed out there thinking, I can press this. I know I can get to the end on these tires. I'm in first place. Obviously, if I pit this late in the race, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose and not have enough time to come back. Maybe I'll get a flag, and this will all happen, right? Well, that didn't happen. No flag came. And then it came down to the second to last lap, and he still had not taken it. So he kind of just waited until, so the second, I think he finished fourth maybe, because the guy, so it was like first, second, third, and fourth were all like pretty much within a second and a half of each other. And then I think it was it Hamilton that was in, Lewis Hamilton was in fifth, and I think he was like 40 seconds behind that
Wow.
guy, so he obviously waited for the other guys to go, so then he knew he wasn't gonna win, but he could at least get 3rd or 4th, right? Like, if he
Right.
could get into a pit and take a pit within 40 seconds, so, just kind of an unfortunate thing, the way that that plays out for him, but, McLaren got the win.
It
Kid is just
sounds it Jude, I'm gonna age myself for a sec. It's like when you have like a pitcher, National League rules. Sorry, I got to state that. Like, and your pitcher's batting, and it's 2-2 in the fifth, and the bases are loaded. It's like, do you yank your pitcher and pinch hit to try and take the lead, or do you hope to God that your pitcher maybe gets lucky?
right,
And
and
it's like
that's,
it kind
I
of
mean,
that when you were talking
it's
about that.
literally a 50-50. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
there is no middle ground there, right? I mean, you're either like, this is going to work and we're going to get the flag and we're going to just kind of be, we're going to kind of just walk right into first place. We're going to stay here and the flag's going to keep us, in first place. We're going to, so everything would have worked out perfectly, but that's not how it happened. And unfortunately for Max Verstappen, he had to take the pit. He took the pit last lap, drops down to third. I think it was fourth place. It was fourth place, because I believe so. Lando Norris from McLaren got the win, his second win of the year. I believe it was his first win at Monaco ever. So he won, and he's McLaren. So a couple years ago, Red Bull dominated, right? Red Bull
Hmm.
just couldn't be beat. Their car, they clearly had the fastest car. Let me pull up the standings real quick. They clearly couldn't. Oh, god damn it! Results, baby. Let me get the results, baby. Here it is. So yeah, he got first. Second was Charles Leclerc. So Ferrari, which Ferrari, they just had their home race last weekend in Italy, and then it was Oscar Piastri. So the other McLaren guy. So what I was saying was, a couple years ago, a year or two ago, it was all Red Bull, right? Red Bull couldn't be stopped. Max Verstappen, basically, if he got into first place, it was fucking over, right? Like, it was just, he was on a drive at that point. Like, he would win by a minute. He'd be lapping the guy in the last play. I mean, just nobody could touch him, and it was just like, what in the hell is going on here? Well, McLaren is that now, right? McLaren is just that. They have got a car that is so much better than the rest. Here's the top. Here's the 1 and 2 right here. Lando. Here's the top 10. So Lando got first. Yeah, Leclerc got second. Piastri third. Verstappen fourth. So he dropped down to fourth because the gap between Piastri and Lewis Hamilton, it was like 40 some odd seconds.
Hmm.
So yeah, Lewis Hamilton, man, you got to remember, Lewis Hamilton's the guy that just left from Mercedes right after all those years and just went to Ferrari, kind of getting later in his career, kind of wanting to maybe revamp the career, light a fire under their career. Ended on a, and obviously racing for Ferrari is pretty prestigious. So he wanted to go there and do that, and it was a big deal. Huge news, probably the biggest Formula One news of the offseason, and just has not really gone his way so far. I was reading an interview, maybe it was before this. It was either before Monaco or last week in Italy, where he was like, I'm still just kind of feeling out the car. I don't know. It was just kind of like it didn't sound. He didn't sound very optimistic, and it was just kind of like, that's sad. So
Like Juan Soto esque, like regretting what he did but never going to say it.
yeah, well, and I don't know if he regrets it, because for Juan Soto, like, here's the thing, like at Juan Soto, it's a little different, right? Every day you're
Yeah.
walking into a stadium of, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess, but at the same time, like, it's more of like a solo sport. I mean, sure, you have a teammate, but like, you're
Yeah.
more looking out for you. It's more like you're doing your own thing, and And Juan Soto's still like 20, what, 4, Lewis,
Yeah.
well, how old is Juan Soto? 26?
I'd be thinking 25, 26. Yeah.
25, 26. Lewis Hamilton's more like the old dog that was like, and he's not even super old, but, multiple time world champion, been in best of the world. This is more of him just like, he hasn't really been Lewis Hamilton the last couple of years. So let's go to Ferrari, this big prestigious thing. My contract was up Mercedes. Let's make the move and let's see if we can kind of like reinvigorate things, right? Let's see if we can kind of get shit back into, the way it was. And as of now, it is just not happening for him. So, which sucks because I love Ferrari, love Lewis Hamilton. So kind of wanted to see my boy do good this year. But here are your McLaren drivers here on the side. You got Lando on the right. You got Piastri on the left. These guys are absolutely just running shit. So we got Barcelona next weekend.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
But Monaco, man, Monaco is like the granddaddy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like the course there is so sick, and everybody just like pulls up on their yachts and shit.
Damn. That's crazy.
So yeah, it's all these billionaires and shit. Like they all pull up on their yachts, and yeah, everybody's standing on their side of on the side of the street up here on their buildings. Standing on the balconies and stuff like that. Let's see if I can. See if there's any other cooler like.
Well, Monaco is like the luxury of luxury place. Wow. Just millions and millions and millions of dollars just sitting there.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking sick, dude. Like Monaco, yeah, everybody just pulls up on the old yacht daddies and just fucking watches the race. It's pretty fucking cool, dude. So, that was this weekend. Cool race. I missed the first half of it, which are not half, like first couple laps, which was sad, but everything else is good. Very good race. Sad outcome for Max Verstappen.
Can we take one more quick left? Darts Premier League Finals is this weekend. Is on Thursday.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We've got Dart Premier League this week, baby, which is fucking sad. Our boy Stephen Bunting came to had his last match of the year. Didn't go very well either. Of course, against Luke Littler fucking last week. Just absolutely, just a killer, dude. I mean, just buzzsawed him.
That was like close to as perfect of a like 7 legs as you can play. Like nothing went wrong.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal. So, I mean, I think Luke Littler's. I mean, it's obviously anybody's game, but if Luke Littler's going to come playing like he did this past week, I think he's probably the big dog. I think he's leading right now too.
Yeah, he set the record for points, but he gets his good old nemesis of Gerwin Van Price.
Yeah, give him Gerwin, dude. Gerwin's the man. I saw Gerwin today. He was doing some boxing. He was sparring, dudes, doing 6 2-minute rounds, is what he said.
I'm telling you, I used to just despise that guy, and now that guy just gets me excited. I have turned on him. He used
dude,
to
we got to get you a Gerwin Price, the Iceman, dude. Let's fucking go.
I
hope he wins. If it's not, if it's not going to be old SB, hopefully it's the Price. The Price is right.
And he's just like, I almost love it when he doesn't go, and he's just like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, sometimes.
But he's just like, charging up because at some point there's going to be one.
Yeah, you just don't know in the stream when I'm just gonna go.
Dude, and they love it too. They're like, there he is, there it is, there it is.
It's
fucking
so
shout out to Gerwin Price. That's who we're rooting for. You got Derelict Sports fucking support this week for sure.
Yes.
If not him, I hope it's Luke Humphreys. I guess. I mean, I like Lillard. I really don't mind any of them, but
no.
I hope it's Gerwin. I think it should be good though. But shout out to Stephen Bunting, first time in 10 years. Hopefully next year. Hopefully this hasn't discouraged him, and he will be back. Now, I would love to see him back next year. I just think that the first year back in 10 years, I think I think it took him a while to settle in, and
Mhm.
um, I think the way the setting and like the setup, right? I mean, he's been playing tournaments for all these years, right? For 10 years, which basically you get, 3, 4 days of play sometimes. You get, but then you get to the Premier League and it's weekly, 3 rounds. It's the start and finish all in one day.
Yep.
It's a little different, right? I mean, it's just a more pressure. The best of the best are there. You're traveling every single week. It's a lot to do, and if you haven't done it in 10 years, I think it was a mixture of that. I think he got there, and the adjustment period was a little more than he thought it was going to be, and then obviously when you're playing. When not even playing bad, because right, he wasn't even playing bad in a lot of those. But when you have the luck that he was having, and you're just losing and losing and losing, and not just losing, you haven't even gotten out of the first round in like 7 or 8 weeks. I
Yeah.
think then it started then that started the combination of those two things. I just think it's hard to get back on track, and then by the time he had won that one and started getting some under his belt, it was just too late.
Oh, it
Um,
was too big. Yeah.
Way too late. And I just hope that next year, like I hope we see him back next year, and I hope that he can be like, because I do think that now that he can come back and knowing what to expect, and kind of have a year under his belt, I do think that Stephen Bunting will play a lot better. And I know that there's a lot there is like a I didn't realize this, but there is like a group of people that like truly, like, I wouldn't say despise Stephen Bunting, but they're all about well, he's not even that good of a dart player. He's just more of if he wasn't so popular online, he wouldn't be. He more or less like he's there for the views, right? Like they're bringing him there because he is out of all the guys online, he is the most popular dart player online, right? Like no one
Mhm.
else. No one has a walk on that's caught on like that. No one else. It's just he's got the YouTube channel. So a lot of people who obviously darts is in no means like a huge sport worldwide. I mean, it's big over there, but not huge. But you got to think that it's bigger than it was 10 years ago in
Mhm.
2015. So in 2015, that's a long time ago. So you got to think there's a lot of people who don't know who Stephen Bunting is, who, see him this year, see him struggle, see him not win until week 8 or whatever it was. And I think they're probably like, well, this guy fucking sucks. All I do is see him walk onto titanium, and that's all I ever hear everybody talk about. This guy's not even that good. And it's like, brother, I think you're just, you know, at, you just you're sleeping on the Bunting, man. You're sleeping on SB. And I mean, what do you think? You think if he comes back next year, you think I mean, do you think he ever, knowing what we know, do you think he ever could win one?
He is comfortably like the fourth best player in the world.
Yeah, what is he? Is he 3 or 4? I think he is ranked like
Four,
three or
four.
four in
Yeah,
the
he's
world.
somewhere like between 3 and 5. It's like Lidler and Humphreys are like that, and then everybody else is they can beat him, but they can't beat him consistently.
Yeah, and you can't even really, and you can't put Michael Van Gerwen in there anymore. I don't think either.
No,
I think he is kind of dropped out of that.
because I think Price is 3, and then I of the if I were to rank the 8, it's like it's it's both Luke's 1 and 2. I think Gerwin Van Price is 3, and then it gets into I think I would say Van Gerwen, but I think Bunting's stupid close. And then who else was there? There was Dolby. Dolby's like probably 8, but he would just go and beat beat one of the big ones. So then Aspinall is so hot and cold that it's just when he's on, he's so dangerous. But then he's yeah. So which one did I miss? Oh, Rob Cross. Rob Cross is a world championship semifinalist. I think he might even be a world finalist.
Yeah, he
So
couldn't. He was the one that I thought. So Doby and Cross were the two that if Bunting was going to make something happen, it was going to be he was going to pass one of those guys. But obviously, Van Gerwen may have been a little bit out of reach. But I mean, look at this. I mean, here's I would assume that's the cutoff. So it looks like we're getting Gerwin, Price, Littler, Humphreys, Aspinall. So I mean, That's a good one. I mean, and I mean, look at Littler though. I mean, 45 points. I mean, just 11 in front. I mean,
I
20,
think it's
21
best.
points in front of Gerwin Price.
I
But
think it's
again, like you
best.
said, I mean, if anybody has had Luke Littler's number all year, it's Gerwin. I mean, Gerwin Price. I don't know if it's the antics. I don't know if he just gets in Luke, because what I've noticed about Luke Littler the last like month or so. I mean, he's definitely gets. I don't want to say he gets like rattled maybe, because like I do think he's the best player in the world, and he also, if we do want to use the word rattled, I'd say just as oftentimes he locks the fuck in and can just he knows what he has to do and he does it right. But there are times where like you could tell that if the crowd, I don't think he likes when crowds are actually against him. I
Yeah.
think that gets to him, and I think that like he gets kind of into the playing with the crowd and making faces with the crowd and kind of doing his thing. And I think Gerwin Price. I think when you got a guy that hits a 180, or maybe every once in a while, Gerwin's been hitting 9 darters pretty pretty consistently this year, and somebody does that and then fucking screams in your face like that. I think that could rattle you a little bit.
We also have to remember he's only like 20 years old.
Dude, he's 20. I think he's 18.
I can't remember, but yeah, he's still a fucking kid. Like,
Dude, I'll beat the shit out of Luke Lillard.
no, that one I think you actually could. But no, it's I
18, turned 18 January 21st.
that's nuts. But yeah, like he's done better. Like he's finally been beating Price, but there was a was it like week 11 or 12? Like he threw his fucking darts after he beat him, and it was just like he was just so. And guys just it's weird how guys just own guys. It's like, yeah, he's gonna get some, but it just feels like if you're doing a best of seven, he's gonna beat you beat you 4-2. Just weird how sometimes they match up. So it'll be a fun race. I think it's to 17, like best of 17. So that's first to 9 for the semifinals, and I think it's a race to or 21, so a race to 11 for the final at the O2 Center in beautiful London. And then the crowd roars.
Yeah, so I'm reading about him now. So they're saying that he's probably going to make about 10 million pounds this year,
Wow.
Luke Littler.
Wow.
And then I'm not going to pull it out because it doesn't matter, but I might have Leah says last night, one day ago, Daily Mail, Luke Littler cozies up to new female friend during night out with pals, dude. So Luke Littler's getting some
Oh,
poon, that's for
that
sure.
a boy.
And here's I just said the whole thing about the fans, and this is a article that came up that I just typed in Luke Littler to see his age, and it says Luke Littler told to copy Ronnie O'Sullivan after receiving huge backlash. Luke Littler's star went back and forth with fans. So this is what I was saying last week when he was playing Gerwin Price a couple weeks ago, and this is when he was like telling everybody, like telling I mean he was like, you could tell that the fans were getting to him, and like he was really they were booing him and stuff, and like I don't think he knows how to. I mean, again, like you said, he's 18, but so this is what I don't know who is Ronnie O'Sullivan. Is he another dart player?
Yeah, he's the Irish guy. He comes into Zombies by the Wildflowers. It's pretty good. No,
That
that's not who
guy.
I'm thinking. No, that's not who I'm thinking of. But continue.
Ronnie O'Sullivan is a British professional snooker player. What is
Oh,
snooker?
Snookers like with the all the red balls and then the other color balls, and it's like certain points to get it. Yeah, snooker.
Have you bet on it?
I think I have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
you're not. You
have.
didn't
I was
say no
bored.
right off the bat, and I
No,
think
I had to think. No,
you know when it's a no. Like right away, and you're like, oh no, I've never bet on that.
I
But the
think I
fact that
was.
you had to think that have I ever bet on British snooker?
I probably was bored
You're a
on
sick
best.
bitch, dude.
I
You've
was
done
probably.
curling, right? We've talked about
Oh yeah.
this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
love me
yeah.
some curling.
Curling. Fuck, dude. I'm a regular.
Briars, Scotties, like the national
You're fucking
championship here.
sick,
Yeah,
dude.
fuck yeah. No, I'm 90% sure that I was bored on a Tuesday morning and down
You're
like
that guy.
drive.
You're that guy that like years down the line, snooker's on, and you're like, damn, maybe I will bet on this. And you try to go make an account, and it says you've already got one, and you're like, oh fuck.
God damn.
You just got to reset your password and just keep it pushing.
Damn it.
So I guess this guy, he was a childhood prodigy with snooker. So I guess this guy, I mean, I don't know. I guess this guy was just a. However, his work with sports psychologist Steve Peters helped him overcome his mood swings. So I guess this guy used to just be a real cock, right?
Okay.
But so yeah, they're saying that that's what Luke Littler should do. They said that because it says Littler finished topping. It says regardless of how the career react, Littler's prepare. Jesus Christ is preparing to defend his Premier League title this Thursday. The Nuke will play Gerwin Price first up. Dude, we're betting money on Gerwin Price. Put that just letting everyone know right now, we're putting money on the fucking Iceman on Thursday. That's the
Where's
upset
it?
of the week.
We are looking at it right now. You read.
Right fucking now.
I find darts.
Let me know. So it says with the winner facing Luke Humphrey or Nathan Aspinall in the final. So it says Littler finished top of the standings with a record points total following his nightly win in Sheffield last week. That's despite having to endure crowd boos at the Utilita Arena, with the star responding on social media 2 days later. So even he went on social media, put a little Instagram on. Said after Sheffield United were beaten by Sunderland. Oh, so I guess after they booed him, then they went and lost the soccer game. He says beaten by Sunderland in the championship playoff finals. He taunted fans of the Blades by posting on Instagram. Heard some boos on Thursday night. Karma always comes back to bite you.
Oh, you're gonna enjoy going there for the rest of your career.
Says it wasn't the first time Littler had been jeered by a Premier League crowd this year. In Leeds the previous week, he did yawn and crybaby gestures to fans after they were giving him stick. So that's what it was. He was doing like he was like really getting. And didn't you say a minute ago? Remember when he threw the darts? When he chucked his darts?
Yep. Yeah, when Gerwin beat him, and it was like the 5th time in a row, and he just kind of like snapped his crayons.
So it says Rob Cross, of all people, who's uglier than shit, has urged the 18-year-old to continue interacting with spectators despite the risk of being booed. Luke gets a bit of backlash sometimes from fans about his antics, but I think everyone should lay off him and let him get on with it. I reckon he can become an Eric Bristow or Ronnie O'Sullivan's character of the sport. He doesn't take any nonsense and he loves the banter. Let him be himself. We need that sort of stuff in the sport. Gets people wound up, makes for a better atmosphere, which we agree with. It's fucking darts, dude. Like,
Gerwin Price plus 250.
yeah, dude, lock him in. Lock her in. Gerwin Price plus 250. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And I actually feel good about that.
Yep. I'm gonna make sure I take my lunch a little later, or I'll be by myself, and I will be sorting papers and finding all my good stuff. And yeah,
Let's fucking go, dude. I love that. I love it. Because I don't know what the head-to-head record is this year, but I know that he's beaten Luke Littler more than Luke Littler's beaten him, and I mean just easily.
Yeah, no, I would agree. So, and then I think they have Aspinall as a plus 220, Luke Humphreys is a minus 350, which is probably about right.
Minus 350.
Minus 350. Littler's minus 400 over Gerwin Price. If just for shits and giggles, if you were to take both Lukes and parlay them, it would still be minus 165. Yuck.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah. I don't really like because I think Humphreys probably beats Aspinall. I don't know. Aspinall's been playing pretty fucking good this year, but yeah, the only one I really feel good about is Gerwin Price. Minus 250, I like it. Lock it in. Put him in there. Put him on. I wish we could put him on action.
I know. Yeah. And plus, we had a preseason game this week.
Yes, sir. I saw it was this weekend, right?
Yeah, they lost 15-9 in Winnipeg. It was a very
50-9.
15-9. It was a very boring football game. I listened to a little bit of it, and I was like, "Oh God, preseason football is the absolute worst." I know for you this year, it'll be exciting for the Browns, but
Shea Door, baby, perfect timing.
But generally, preseason football is the absolute worst, and I try my hardest not to bet preseason football. I have a level. Have I done it? Absolutely. But do I try my absolute hardest? Yes.
Yeah, we're
Why
not
bet
doing
for
that this year. I don't want to
why
see any
bet
preseason football on the goddamn action page.
why bet preseason football when you could bet the Saints and Cardinals in week 1?
Yeah, exactly. I think we should find
Ugh.
what the can you bet on Brown's starting quarterback for week 1?
I'll take a look to see if there's any specialties. I bet you if you probably if you looked around hard enough,
I
you
think you
might
probably
be able
could
to. I
somewhere.
think NFL's player specials. Week
Somewhere
one.
that's got to be an option for sure. All right, boys. We also got while you're looking at that, we've also got OKC Minnesota kicking off here in any minute.
Ooh.
Game 3. So
There
we'll keep
there
an
is
eye on that,
odds.
obviously.
There is legit odds for who will be the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback in week 1.
Let me guess what they are. So it's
Okay.
going to be so the odds go Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, Shador.
Flacco, Pickett, Sanders, Gabriel.
Ooh, Sanders, Gabriel. What's Gabriel?
So Gabriel is the long shot at plus 850. Sanders is plus 410. Kenny Pickett is plus 185, and Joe Flacco, I almost called him Joe Falco, plus 110.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The more I think about this, the more I've been reading and like the things I've been hearing, which again that could change. Cleveland Browns football can change any day of the week, but it seems to me like they want a rookie to go out there and take control in this preseason and like like they would. I don't think they're gonna throw one out there if they're not ready, but I think they would like one of those guys to come in and prove that they should start week 1. I think they would do that over. So one of those guys, I think that's one that we should watch the preseason because I'm sure those odds will change, obviously, depending on how things play out and
Yes.
what reps and stuff are looking like. But
I think Sanders is like the value play. I think
I
Pickett
agree. I
is.
was going to say I don't think the chances are zero he starts.
Yeah. Like the Pickett feels like unless Flacco gets hurt, Pickett is not starting.
I think Flacco might be the odd man out. Honestly, I don't know. I mean,
Really?
one of those guys. I don't know. I really
I
don't know
feel
between every day I wake up, I feel different about one of those guys because I mean, it feels like I don't know. I mean, Pickett obviously is the younger guy, probably more appealing. I don't know, but Flacco's done it. Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know how that's going to go, but that's definitely something I want to keep an eye on as far as odds because
Hey Nick,
that
I just hit this place bet button on Shador Sanders plus 210. That's
210 or
invested.
410.
410, sorry. 410, sorry.
Yeah, I like that.
I am now invested in the Cleveland Browns.
All right, well there we go. Well,
Wow,
it should be starting. I think they're
Dale's
back this week.
Dale's just found two fucking random bets on this stream. What a day.
What
You
a
thought we
day.
weren't gonna
What a
talk about
day.
anything.
What a day. All right, well let's get into some shit here. Let's go over some baseball real quick. Had a lot of baseball. Before we do that, I had a video I wanted to pull up for old Dale here for
Oh yes.
so the Oakland A's. We talked about that. Well,
Sacramento.
we talked about him here quite a bit. They're in Sacktown right now is where they're at, and they it is a minor league stadium or was it a college stadium?
It's a minor league. It's the San Francisco Giants AAA place.
So here is. So when we're gonna mute this, and I'm sure we're still gonna get copywritten because it's NBC. I mean, yeah, we're getting fucked for this. But here's what happens when you when you get thrown out of a game. Here's this guy. He just got thrown out. Here's the
It's the walk of shame. It's so good.
My guy's literally got to walk all the way down the third baseline, out into left field, and into the dugout or into the back from back there. That's so sick.
Sacramento, you should be giving him a fucking standing ovation after he got launched and walking out. Like, you should be giving him a standing ovation. Also, me and Nick had some fun. So Bruce Bochy got launched last week, and it was, what was it, his 83rd or 85th?
Yeah, 80 some odd.
So then
I mean, that guy's a legend. Still less than half
of Bobby Cox.
Of Bobby Cox, dude, the ultimate cocksucker.
He's literally been launched a season's worth of games.
One whole season's worth of baseball games. He's been paid for a entire season's worth of games that he didn't finish.
That's just so astronomically amazing. It's like Nelson when I told him that stat. Nelson's like, it's a good thing he left because you don't want to do 163 because that's just gonna ruin it. You
Yeah.
left on a high.
Yeah. Is he dead?
I don't think so, but I actually don't know.
What the fuck is Bobby Cox up to? I wonder if he's dead or alive. Wanted. Dead or alive. And I'm wanted.
I'm just so happy that we.
Now he's 84 years old, pushing, baby.
84, wow, because Bruce Bochy's in his 70s, I'm pretty sure. God, what a legend. The like, God, there's certain coaches or managers that you just. It's almost like a rite of passage that you have to like. There was a coach that I knew I had to tee up, and it was like a rite of passage. You basically became part of the group when you teed him up, because everybody's done it. Bobby
Dude.
Cox would be that manager like to throw out.
That guy looks like a leather wallet.
He does. And
Like
that's
that guy
probably him.
looks like straight up.
That's probably him in his 60s too. Like that's scary. Like
That,
no
yeah, that's a
sunscreen
younger
at
Bobby.
all. No sunscreen at all. I can't believe that it was 100. Because after Bruce Bochy got launched, then you went and looked it up, and I was like, I don't know. Like I knew he was number one. I'm like 120, and you're like 162. Like fuck me.
Damn, he was with the
160.
Jays.
He started with the Jays in like the 80s. Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
Damn, he actually just turned 84 on May 21st.
Nice.
5 days ago.
Not a boy, Bobby.
Attaboy, Bob. There you go, Bob Cox.
I wonder what he thinks of analytics. He feels like one of those guys that you could like go and get like the right amount of alcohol in to just like let the stories flow. Like you don't want to get him too tipsy because it's gonna.
Oh yeah, because then he's racist.
Yeah, but you need like get him like that 3 to 4 like nicely tuned in. Oh yeah. You know what I think about Joe West? Oh, I don't, but you should talk about it, Bobby Cox.
Yeah, Bobby, why don't you tell us all about Joe West? Why don't you tell us what you think about that fat fuck?
Joe West would be another interesting one to listen to stories.
Dude, fuck Joe West.
I agree with you. Fuck Joe West, but he feels like a country boy that would, he could tell you a couple good stories.
Yeah, he would be pretty good. All right. Speaking of baseball, obviously, like it is every year, big baseball day, baseball all day, pretty much.
Yep.
I thought it was funny today, which it is, obviously today is a day that we remember fallen soldier. That's what Memorial Day is all for, right? And there's always those people that are like, well, let's not forget what today's really about, which we get. Like, okay, we don't have to be that guy, right? And today I was watching, what was the first game on today? I was watching it today. It was Red
Tigers,
Sox,
Giants?
and who the fuck are the
Brewers.
Red Sox playing?
Red Sox Brewers.
Brewers, that's what it was. And I was watching the Milwaukee, just because fuck Boston, I'd rather just listen to the Milwaukee people. So I was listening to their broadcast, and in the second inning, one of the play-by-play guys was like, what a perfect day. There isn't a better day for baseball. Beautiful day for baseball. The weather's perfect. And to top it all off, it's Dollar Dog Day. They're like, how could it get better than that? What else could you ask for today? And without even hesitating, the guy next to him, the other play-by-play guy goes, well, a lot of people probably have a hard time celebrating these days because they've lost loved ones in the military. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. All right.
But there's
Dollar
nothing wrong-
glizzies.
There's nothing wrong with saying that, but don't put it right after.
Don't shit on that. Okay.
Exactly.
Like we know what today is, but also, okay, if it wasn't about baseball, they wouldn't start at fucking noon. Okay. If it wasn't about baseball, that's like saying Christmas. Well, it's not about it's not about the 5 football games on Christmas. It's about Jesus. Okay. Fuck Jesus. I'm watching the Knicks play. Okay. Like I'm watching fucking OKC. I'm watching LeBron and Steph Curry play right now, okay? It's not all about Jesus.
Go to church, do your thing. It's like the Paul Maurice quote. Oh God, that was such a good quote I sent you.
Which we will pull that up here
Yeah,
soon when we get to
sorry.
hockey. I will
Yeah,
pull that up. But yeah,
but
it's
it's
like,
pick and choose
shut up.
offense. Yeah,
You
it's like
know,
you're say it in the fourth or fifth inning, like it's what today is, and
it's
like why we're
dollar
here.
dog day.
Nick, when I once got to have, I went to Dollar Hot Dog Day, so I filled in for a guy for a shift, and he's like, what do I owe you? And I said, get me a ticket in the upper deck and give me $5 for hot dogs. And he gave me $10, and I had 5 hot dogs and a Coke or a Pepsi, and the Pepsi cost more than my fucking 5 hot dogs.
Of course it did, dude. They're so goddamn good. I have a rule, dude, and I'm not even like somewhat exaggerating. My ass cheeks don't touch bench or seat or bleacher until I've got 2 dogs in my hand. I just don't. I won't do it. I won't sit down. And if I don't get a dog, I'm standing for 9 innings.
Have you? I know you obviously would not partake anymore, but have you ever heard the 9 and 9 thing where guys eat nine
Try to eat
hot
a
dogs
dog at
and
every 9 innings.
but 9 dogs and 9 beers in 9 innings?
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh.
And I've also seen the guys who try to do it for the elite one for. I watched the guy do it for the Guardians last year. He tried to do one for every run they scored. They scored like 12 runs in that game. It's a fucking
No.
idiot.
No, I've seen like the people do it. I'm like, why? Just go and enjoy the ball game,
Brother, but a glizzy at the ball game on Memorial Day in 70-degree weather. Yes. I also saw that Cardinals, they're in Baltimore, old Baltimore, and
fucking figure
they've got this part of the stadium that they call the Bird Bath.
out. Yeah, I'm sure. Yes.
You saw this?
Baltimore is in the American League East. I know exactly what this is.
So you've seen them do this.
I have seen them do this while watching the Blue Jays play.
It is 70 degrees outside,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy is hosing motherfuckers down in the section. I'd be so pissed. Like, it is not hot. It's not warm enough for that yet.
Oh yeah, like middle of July, you go to town, sunshine.
It was 51 degrees when I woke up here today, which I know is different than Maryland, but like that's just that weather in the country right now. You know what I mean? Like it's not that warm to be bird bathing.
no, like just imagine like playing a rain game and then some asshole and his little like with his and he's got like the water wings and the thing on and he's like, oh, we got a home
The
run.
bird bath.
Yeah, you're paying money to get wet. When
They
it's like
yeah, well they
40
ended it with
degrees
some
outside.
kid was in the front row and they were just like the guy just had like did the finger on the hose and was just spraying this kid in the face and he was going all for it and like I'm sure his parents are fucking pissed. I don't know. But I'm like, dude, if I was sitting in 7 degree and somebody just started hosing me down, I think I'd be a little pissed off. But I thought that was pretty goofy. But yeah, dude, Dollar Dog Day, Memorial Day. Look, we understand what the day's for, but it's also about baseball. So we had baseball all day. We're not going to go through every single game today, obviously. But is there any games that stuck out to you today? Is there anything that maybe you'd want to? Is there any Memorial Day baseball that stuck out to you today?
Canadian was working, but Tigers won. The Tigers quietly leading the American League or American League Central is, they're quietly under the radar. They're not just Tarek Skubal. Javi Baez is not a hot piece of
Dude,
trash
he's like
anymore.
their hottest hitter right now.
Exactly. Like he that I love that he has the Major League logo tattoo on him. It's so fucking ridiculous. Like it's up there with the Cody Rhodes
Yeah,
logo tattoo.
yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. At least it's just tiny, but like Spencer Torkelson, who was almost like spending all his time in Toledo in AAA, fucking figured it out.
Matt Vierling.
Matt Vierling came back and like they're not a sexy team, but boy, they're not a fun team to play. And like the Giants are quiet, even though they're probably fourth in the National League. What? They're still above 500. They're competing in the National League. It's not like they just walked over a team. The Guardians did get 3 of 4 from them. Let's give the Guardians a little bit of credit.
Yes, sir.
All it
They're
took
only
was
3 behind now. Why can I hear myself?
I don't know.
Huh.
Who?
Huh.
Um,
Am I coming out of your screen?
no, no, you're good to me.
I don't know.
Oh, it's okay. Well, if you need to hop out quick, just
Nah,
do it.
fuck
It's all
it.
good. But yeah, like Scooble pitched to Jim against you, and me and Nick.
First complete game, not first complete game, first career shutout.
I also read a stat in that game that he is the first guy in forever in 3 days to have a 13 strikeout complete game and not throw 100 pitches.
Dude, it was just disgusting.
It's that's why he is the favorite to win the Cy Young right now. So, but yeah, Tigers. I don't know. Red Sox are still on a bit of a free fall. Cubs keep winning baseball games. I'm trying to see what the Jays won 2-1. Cool. Yeah, fast Jays talk. Man, that lineup is just can't hit. They can't hit, and they're still like above 500. They are like heads and tails of better than Baltimore.
I heard that I saw somebody, I don't know if it was a Blue Jay newspaper or magazine or site or something, but somebody wrote a pretty terrible article about Andres Jimenez. I know they fucking were saying that he is just like borderline unplayable right now.
The bat isn't the bat.
The bat doesn't exist. I don't understand what happened. Like 2 years ago, he was so good.
Nick, he was batting cleanup to start the season for the Jays, and now he's like, I'm gonna pull a Jays reference. He's like John McDonald. He's so good defensively, and he has a noodle for a bat. He is almost the equivalent of having a major league pitcher batting. And he's definitely better than that. Don't get me wrong. But right now, he's lost at the plate.
Yeah, dude, and I hate that. Like, I hate that for him. I really do. Like, I want him to be good there.
If he wasn't so fucking good, if he was average defensively, he would be DFA'd. I firmly believe that. But he is
what's Josh? I know Josh Naylor was also on a tear for a while too. Is he kind of slowed down?
He's come back to earth some, yes.
What are Arizona doing right now anyway? Are they good? I know that they just I know that the Cardinals just swept them, right?
They did, yes, but they're holding they're only a couple back of the Dodgers. Let's take a look here. Well,
26 and 27.
Oh, they're back under 500 again. Damn, no, that's what happens when you lose 3 in a row. But that's the Diamondbacks thing is like Zach Gallen is not Zach Gallen, and Corbin Burns is not, like, the names are not what you're getting for pitching performance.
So here's Arizona. Arizona is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th in the National League.
Jeez, that's wild.
Yeah, so they're a game behind. They're like a game behind Milwaukee. They're in front of Atlanta, which I do think Atlanta's going to start turning things around.
They're such a confusing team. Oh God, we didn't talk about that horrible base running thing for Atlanta on Saturday.
That was pretty bad. I mean, that was terrible. But I mean, we also didn't really talk about they got Acuna back, and he just fucking hasn't missed a step at all.
Yeah, 2 homers in the first 2 games. Yeah, like you look. Yeah, they're 2 games under 5. If you would have told a Braves fan that you went and got swept in San Diego and LA for your first 7 games of the season, and you got to Memorial Day weekend and you were 2 games under 500, I think you would be ecstatic. Bad. You would be ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, I mean it's like for sure.
So,
a lot. I mean, we were seeing. I mean, yeah, it's Devers. There's a lot of things. Like there are a lot of surprises to start the year of just people looking abnormally bad.
Well,
and they've all kind of turned it around, like Devers, who obviously I've picked him 2 days in a row for prize picks, and he hasn't done dick for me. But I mean, he's been damn near one of the hottest guys in baseball since
Wilson Contreras, your boy.
Yeah,
he was fucking borderline unplayable in fantasy for the first month of the season. But he was
I told
had kept
playoff
track
last
of
night
everything.
Cardinals are going to beat them in the NLCS Phillies.
It's crazy to think that the Cardinals went on that insane run, and they're only 3 behind the Cubs. And I
Yeah,
don't think they've played the Cubs yet.
I don't think so.
So
They're playing really
lots.
well. I mean, I definitely playing a lot better than I thought they were. I saw
Jordan,
Ali Marmol. You know, he leads the league in ejections this year.
really? Huh.
Kind
I
of a
would have
fun
not
little
guessed
stat.
that. That's a fun. Yeah, I
Somebody
wouldn't
said,
have.
"Hey, Ali, you want to stick around, dude? Just start yelling.
Fucking.
Appear like you care a little bit."
Well, yeah, because like we've had the conversation that you think that you're gonna get a Albert Pujols or Yadier Molina if like you thought he was next door to a dead duck.
Yeah, I mean,
Man,
yeah, and now what are you gonna do? Fire him? I mean, you know, he's kind of making himself unfireable right now. So
mm-hmm. They're 6 games above 500. You're 3 games behind the Cubs at Memorial Day. That's a fucking victory if you're a Cardinals fan. Makes you think that you got a chance and you can. You thought that you might be getting rid of pieces at the trade deadline. You might be trying to find some pieces to bolster that bullpen and maybe find another starter. By the way, I
yeah,
love
no,
you so
I agree. I
much,
mean, yeah,
but
they if they, I mean, I don't know, I don't know if they can keep it up, but definitely fun to watch them because I mean, yeah, they kind of been in the dumps the last couple of years, so it'd be nice to see the Cardinals kind of come back and at least come back to maybe just get back up to the surface at the very least. But look at the Guardians; they're about to drop to the Dodgers game one. It was who pitched tonight? It was Gavin Williams and
I think it was Yamamoto tonight.
Yamamoto's who it was. So Yamamoto, Gavin Williams. I didn't really feel good about this. Gavin Williams, man, he's supposed to be like one of the next guys, and I don't know. Some days he looks like he's the best pitcher on the staff. Some days he just looks lost. And the walks, the walks at the starting rotation are given up are just ridiculous. It's I don't know. Guardians though, but they're another team. Like they're unsexy as shit. They might be. I mean, they're unsexier than they were last year, and they were already unsexy, and they're still like somebody did their top 10. I don't know if it was MLB or it was the MLB Network. Somebody did one of those two did their top 10 teams in the power rankings, and Guardians were like 7, 7 or 8. So it's like they're still there, they're still doing their thing, they're above 500, right? I mean they're still behind the Tigers by a couple games. Starting they were like 6 games behind the Tigers starting that series. Cut it down to 3, obviously. And then I think it went back up to 4 after Tarek Skubal did what he did yesterday. And it was so funny because I couldn't escape it, right? So this morning I wake up and the first thing I did, I started doing stuff around the house. I went and got Shannon us coffee. But then I was like, all right, so I got everything done. I was like, I don't have to be at my mom's until like 3:30. Shan has been redoing the kitchen. She's doing shit in the kitchen. So I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna sit down, see if there's some baseball on. I know there's gonna be something started. So that's when I turned on the Red Sox and Milwaukee was the first game today. First game kickoff today. So I'm like, all right, first innings. It was like the bottom of the first, top of the second, whatever. Turn it on, dude. Not within 90 seconds of me turning it on, they're like, so we just got to flash back to what happened yesterday. And they said, and they went to the Tarek Skubal. They go, we're going to go through all 13 strikeouts of Tarek Skubal. I'm like, fuck you guys, dude. So I just exited it. I just stared at the schedule because I'm like, and I counted to 30 because I'm like, I know these things aren't long, but I'm like, you got me fucked up if you think I'm going to sit here on this couch and watch you go through all 13 strikeouts of Tarek Skubal. So I'm like, the Tigers aren't even playing right now. Like
On a Brewers Red Sox game.
Brewers
Exactly.
Red Sox. We're talking about look. We just got a flashback of what happened yesterday. Brother, you'd have thought like a national tragedy happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like, brother, I understand that it was a great performance, but Jesus Christ, they're not even playing today, and we are now going over all of Tarek Skubal's 13th drive. So I was like, fuck you guys. Like, obviously, I saw the first one because I couldn't hit back fast enough. I'm like, fuck the MLB Network.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was brutal, dude. Absolutely brutal. 7-2.
He's kind of good
7-2
at throwing
Dodgers.
baseballs.
So All right, well, let's move on. Really, like I said, not too much. Is there a night game tonight for the night?
The Yankees Angels
Yankees
is
Angels. Jesus Christ, 9:38 Eastern. Yeah, I don't
yeah, I
think
think
so.
there's one other DGen West Coast game. Yeah. Marlins and
I
Padres.
say
Yeah,
Marlins
that.
Padres just kicked off too.
Oh, that just okay. So that's all right because everything's earlier today, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's basically it. Pirates D-backs are in the third, and then yeah, Dodgers Guardians ninth, mid nine, top seven in Tampa. So winding down. All right, to basketball. Last night,
What a night!
what a night that
We
was.
we should like preface that us starting with Nick sending Tyler Halliburton when they went on their run at the end of the half, and it was looking real good. And me and Nick were I think I even posed the question: what was more surprising, that the Knicks get swept or the Hurricanes get swept? And then I got hanging out with the Hay Kid and doing things, and then all of a sudden I get a text from that cutie pie on the other side there, and he's like, "Hey Dale, it's a 4 point game. You should probably tune in." I'm like, "Whoa, okay." And
Dude,
oh boy, that was some theater.
the New York Knicks looked so fucking cooked
Oh,
at in the first half of that game. I sent you. I was like, Dale, I don't think after that 3-play run, I'm like, I don't know if I've ever been this hyped for a team I don't like. Like, I'm like, this was insane. Like the Obi Toppin lob, which is already sick because Obi Toppin being a Nick, right? Coming from the Knicks, so like all the that feels good. So Halliburton, you know, fucking the oop to Obi Toppin, and then they dribble it down the court. I think the Knicks either missed a shot or maybe they made it. I don't know, but they come right back down. Halliburton does a crossover, step back, hits a three, right, and everyone's already. I mean, it's pandemonium already, right? They're already going nuts because they're just. It was a close game, and then the Pacers just went on this like 20-point fucking swing, and so he hits the three, pandemonium. He's going nuts, right? Everybody's, you could tell the Knicks are just discombobulated. They're out of sorts. They throw the ball in. They're trying to get up half court. They try to pass it. Halliburton steals it. Fast break all alone. Yams it. Fucking starts pulling the jersey up, doing the fucking, or the pay, and I'm telling Dale, I'm like, brother, this is over. Like, I put up, I tweeted, I'm like, Halliburton to top it. I'm like, this series is done, blah blah blah. And some fucking how in the second. I guess towards the end of the second period, it maybe started the comeback started, but those second half. Karl-Anthony Towns, right? You got Jalen Brunson, who I like Jalen Brunson. I think he's a great basketball player, but I think that he is one of those basketball players that sure when he is on, they're hard to beat. He's one of the best, one of the better players in the NBA. I won't say one of the best, but he's up there. But when things aren't falling for him and things aren't going the right way, the team is just out of sorts, right? He has to have the ball so much. And it's so much ISO ball, right? It's so much one guy, and when he's not getting calls like he is in the regular season, or they're not falling, and he's out there, it just doesn't, they don't look good. And last night, he gets into foul trouble, 4 fouls in the first half. So he sits, good chunk of the first half, the majority of the second half, right there. They got him sitting out, and out of nowhere, the ball starts moving. The ball is moving around. Everyone's touched the ball. Karl-Anthony Towns look like Karl-Anthony Towns, the Karl-Anthony Towns that we saw in Minnesota. Just takes over the game. Absolute. He's driving. He's hitting jump shots. He's hitting threes. He's hitting bodega bombs. Okay, like it was fucking incredible. Jalen Brunson came back in the game for a minute when he had 4. He comes in. The ball stops moving around. He misses a couple shots, gets his 5th. He goes back out. Karl-Anthony Towns starts, and then of course he came in after, they brought him in towards the end and he was making shots and stuff like that. But at that point, the tide had already turned. they were still a close game at the end, but Karl-Anthony Towns, man, I mean, Miles Bridges or McCall Bridges, I think he had 15 or 20 last night. They just look like a better team without Jalen Brunson sometimes, and last night was one of them.
You could argue that the series was saved with Brunson getting into foul trouble. Because if he was on the court, I don't know if they make that comeback. And I don't think that's a slight like I told you it's one of those rare times where your best player on your team probably wasn't helping you in that situation. And they just had to move the ball and it just, they finally were able to get good shots and you know, like you said, iso ball works wonderful. Like that, the one of those shots in the last 2 minutes when he was like getting. By the way, okay, ref talk.
By the way,
Holy,
before you finish that, sorry to
yes.
everybody in the chat. I did just see that. Talk the MJ deal yet? No, we did not. What's MJ's deal? But anyway, keep talking, Dale. And
Oh
what's
yeah,
up, guys?
yeah. The oh yeah, the refs. Holy shit, they are letting them play. Oh god, you can like just about zip tie a guy's wrists together and you won't get a call. Like it is, they are letting them go, which I thought was, you know, playoffs getting deeper. You let some more go. I'm totally with that. But holy shit, like you could hog tie a guy and maybe not get a call.
Yeah, I mean it was yeah, I don't know, which was kind of crazy because like as hard as they were letting him play to have so many of these guys in foul trouble because I mean Karl-Anthony Towns I think he ended with 5 fouls, right? I think I most of these guys were in foul trouble and it was just I don't know, it was just it just but I'm with you. I mean no one. Oh yeah, the broadcaster deal, yeah, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Because I do think I did see something on that. Um, I haven't fact checked it. Yeah, so I did. Yeah, I read about it, and I did see one of the reasons why he was coming back to, which I think is interesting. But yeah, Jalen Brunson. Obviously they're a better team with Jalen Brunson, right? No one's going to say that, but again, there are those nights where it just the flow of the game, and that just the way it was going last night. Jalen Brunson, 1 of 5 from three, 6 of 18 from the field, didn't really look very good. Karl-Anthony Towns didn't shoot much better either, but he just looked the rebounding and just taking better shots, and
He was
things
engaged.
falling for him. So Karl-Anthony Towns definitely they got their money out of Cat last night. So shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns, great performance. And now I posted that video today. They've both got statement wins, big comeback, shocker, jaw dropping wins in each other's buildings. Right? They, obviously Pacers have still got the 2-1 lead. People are saying, the Knicks have to do this again. It's going to be hard for them to do this again. But, people are saying that about the Pacers too, and they kept hitting all these late shots and coming back. And, how many times have they done in these playoffs? So my question to you is, do you think the Knicks are done? Do you think last night was them getting their one, or do you think that this is a series now? Do you think we see a 6 or 7 now, or do you think that maybe the Pacers steal game? What do you think?
I think I would zigzag theory, and I would probably take the Pacers in game 4, and then Knicks in game 5 win at Madison Square Gardens. Even though they're what did it say? They're like 3-6 in the playoffs at MSG, which is fucking
Crazy.
crazy. And they're like 6-1 on the road. Just a wild stat. No, I think that game goes back to Indy for game 6, and that's going to be for a lot of ass clinching for both teams because Knicks want season to continue. Pacers do not want to go there for game 7.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously every game in the playoff, every next game in the playoffs is the most important one, but game 4 is definitely the most important game here, right? I mean, it's going to tell us everything. Like you said, I mean, the Pacers, I'm with you. I think the Pacers might turn around, win that one and go up 3-1, but Knicks end up taking that second game in Indy, baby. I mean, that we are, tied 2-2 going back to back to MSG. And like you said, obviously the record's not great, but at some point you got to think they're gonna get that right. Hopefully, MSG. So the pressure is on. If the Knicks, I don't think the Knicks have any pressure tomorrow. I think the Pacers got some pressure tomorrow,
Yes.
especially being at home. I did see they're going to start letting Papa fucking Halliburton, John Halliburton's going to be back. They're letting him back in games. I saw that starting tomorrow, so he'll be at
Yay.
the game tomorrow. Um, yeah, I don't know. This will be interesting to see. So, Knicks aren't dead though. Thought the Knicks were dead for sure. Definitely after the way those first, 2 games, first game being, the absolute killer shot in the OT, and then game 2 they just pulled away at the end. So, shout out to the Knicks. I mean, Nick going into the Indy and the way that it was going in the first half, for them to find that in them and come back last night and get that win. I mean, that was Tom Thibodeau. Look, Tom Thibodeau has been getting out coached like a motherfucker in this series. Rick Carlisle, love him. He is so good at what he does. He is so good at making adjustments. He's a killer, dude. And shout out to Thibs last night for making that happen. So tomorrow night we will have Game 4, Pacers Knicks. Game 2 or Game 2 in the Pacers or in Indies. Game 4 overall. So we will see if the Knicks are able to. We picked the Knicks yesterday too, by the way. So fuck
You
everybody.
whoa
We
no
had
no
the.
no 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 you picked the
I
Knicks.
picked the Knicks.
I tailed you.
Yeah,
I
but
tailed you.
it doesn't matter though, because I didn't win any money off of it. That's the best part, is that
Oh
I
no
still
you.
can't. I only have really good betting days when they're bets that I actually can't make money off of. So, shout out to Dale. Dale got some money off that. But if hopefully everybody else, I know Tanner in the chat yesterday. Tanner goes, "Oh, I saw your guy." So yesterday was funny because I was tweeting all Pacers in the first half. I'm like, this is over. And then afterwards, I was like, fucking, let's go Knicks, baby. He goes, no, you can't partake in this. He goes, I saw your tweets. I was like, motherfucker, we bet this last night. Somehow I had not. I always exit, like, X out of all my stuff. Like, I don't let notifications pile up. I exit out of my hate having all of those. I hadn't done that in like a day and a half. Somehow I still had that notification from when I locked in that bet. It was like
Nice.
12:30 a.m. the night before, and I'm like, yeah. I was
That
like,
one's
suck on it. All right, let's before we get into the NHL playoffs in real quick, and we've got obviously tonight, OKC Minnesota. OKC's up 33-26 with a minute
yeah.
and a half left in the first quarter. So up 8 now. So 34-26. So we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, let's talk about this MJ deal real quick. I did hear about this, and I do think it's funny that. So here is here. I mean, never mind. I'm just gonna. I found the picture. I was gonna say here's the whole article, but I didn't want to read the whole article. Here are the pictures. So Michael Jordan is signing a deal to, and I don't think it's like a. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Broadcast. So I don't think it's a full like deal, right? I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull this up, but I don't think it's a full time like Tom Brady s deal, right? Where he's coming in and being like a full time kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just coming in for the playoffs, but let's see. All right, Michael Jordan still has Charles Barkley guessing rivals who met in '93. Blah blah blah. Two will be contemporaries in the broadcasting game. Barkley, who put off retirement, is making move from TNT to ESPN. We know that. And Jordan, who spent Jordan, who spent 13 years as the majority owner of the Hornets, is surprisingly joining NBC as a special contributor. Nobody, even Barkley, knows what that role entails. I have no idea what Michael's going to be doing. He says on Barstool. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do a lot. I know he's not going to do a lot. I was 100% shocked, but I don't think he's going to do a lot, period. Adding Jordan to its coverage is a coup for NBC, which lost broadcast rights to NBC and ESPN in 2002, but it's back in the game for the 2025-26 season at the expense of Barkley's longtime home of Turner Sports. All of Jordan's biggest games en route to winning 6 NBA championships happened during the NBA on NBC Golden Era. Great. Yeah, some of the best intro music. Puck Zone John Oran reported that Jordan's present might involve more pre-tape segments than, of course, he's just such a pussy. So we're going to just tape segments and, Barkley joked that Jordan must need a break from golfing in his private club in Florida. He's probably trying to fix the Grove. He made the Grove where you have to be able to hit the ball left or right. He's probably trying to fix the fairway so people who play a hook can play there. So he's basically saying he took this job because they're doing his golf course is under construction. So it's funny. So this is the thing, right? So he's taking this. So again, I don't think he's actually. It's not like a full-time deal. I think he's just during these. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know. Like I still haven't seen him on TV, so I don't know if this is next year.
I believe it would be next year, yeah, or next season, yeah.
But we'll see. But this is the funny part, right? So this guy Elliot Barnes and I can link you the fucking full article if you guys don't think it's true. The article's right underneath it. But here it is. I've always said this: Michael Jordan fans, they're the worst. They're the fucking worst, right? They're somebody. I mean, God himself could come down and triple Michael Jordan's stats, and they're going to say, well, he's not Michael Jordan, right? So it doesn't matter. Michael Jordan's fans are all, I mean, they're just toxic. They're fucking shit people, and, they're whatever. So part of the reason, this is him. Michael, this was released last week. I read it last week, May 14th, so 12 days ago. And it says Michael Jordan breaks his silence. NBA legend joins NBC to confront the toxic legacy of his own fans. According to multiple insiders, Jordan is not returning to television to relive his 6 championships, nor to prop up the endless GOAT debate that's fueled ESPN, YouTube debates, and barbershops for 2 decades. Instead, Jordan is coming back to dismantle the toxic narrative surrounding his name. Mike thinks the game has evolved, one longtime associate shared under condition of anonymity, but his fans haven't, and he sees that as a problem. A real problem. They act like I played every year, every game. I didn't. The narrative surrounding Jordan has often painted him as the flawless embodiment of basketball perfection. Undefeated in the finals, unmatched in competitiveness, the standard by which all must be measured. And while Jordan never shied away from competition, he now believes that this one-dimensional portrayal has done more harm than good. He said it before in private, said the NBC source, that the narrative of 6-0 has become toxic. It ignores his losses. It ignores the teams that helped him get there. And worst of all, it punishes the greatness of today just because it's different. Some of Jordan's most loyal fans are already spinning the news as a victory lap for nostalgia, but they couldn't be more wrong. Mike flat out told us, if hearing it from him is what takes it for these fans to stop disrespecting guys like LeBron, Steph, or even Harden, then so be it. He wants the game to move forward. This sentiment is a thunderous rebuke to the online subculture of Jordan defenders who have for years attacked every flaw of the modern game and held every superstar to impossible standards. And again, if you want to read it, here's his article right here. I'm just not going to go through putting it through a paywall remover and all that shit. Well, actually, maybe I don't need to, but here it is. You can read it on your own, 6-minute read. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I read that last week. Basically, because like I said, his fans are, they act like they're going to defend Michael Jordan with every last cocksucking breath that they have. And it's almost like they think like Michael Jordan would like love them for this, right? Like he would be so thankful for this service that they're giving. And it's like, no. So I think that's funny. Like, again, is it going to do much of this? People probably not, because again, they're going to spin it and they're going to, whatever. But it is going to feel nice that it's like, I hope that's what he does. I hope he comes on TV and he's like, yeah, maybe I am the greatest, maybe I'm not. I don't know. It is what it is. It's up to it's up to the person, right? Or if he just goes, LeBron James is 1 or 2, right? Yeah, it's funny that you put Harden in there.
Interesting choice.
But it's easier to score points now than it was back then, pal. Definitely not betting the series. It's easier to score points now than it was back then. Yeah, okay. Like, I refuse to believe all that whole like people couldn't play back then type thing. Like, bro, LeBron James would dominate in that era. So would Giannis, all of them boys. I don't know. I just think whatever. I mean, you can believe whoever you want. Here's my thing, and this is the thing I've always said, and this is why like nowadays when we talk about this, like I'm so over the top, like oh fuck Michael Jordan is LeBron's the GOAT, right? Realistically, if you think LeBron or Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, I couldn't give two squirts of piss. Really couldn't. Don't care. I don't give a fuck who you think the greatest basketball player of all time is. It's the fact that in making that statement, they never just make that statement, right? They never just go, Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time. They always go followed up with, and LeBron James isn't even a top 10 guy. It's like there's always so much bullshit that comes out. Like they feel like they absolutely have to bury LeBron or insert anyone, Kobe, Steph, whoever. It's like they have to bury their accomplishments and make them seem like a nothing in order to prove that you could think Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time without saying, yeah, but LeBron, he's not even top 5 or 10, right? Like that guy, you're fucking retarded. Like, and I'm like, that's so stupid. Like if like I know there are greats and people like that played the game. Like I think Charles Barkley or some of them guys. If you're gonna make a list of top 10 greatest basketball players and if you don't have LeBron in the top 10, I just don't care. Like I don't want to hear your opinion. I don't respect your opinion, and I think you're a fucking idiot. I don't care if you played in the league for 20 years. I don't care if you covered the sport. I don't care if you wrote for a magazine or a newspaper in the 80s. I don't give a fuck. You're wrong. You're just fucking wrong. So that's my problem with Jordan fans. Like you don't ever hear LeBron fans go, LeBron's the GOAT, Jordan sucks. Like Jordan's not even top 10. You've never heard that. You always hear like no, LeBron's the GOAT. Like Jordan can be 2. That's always the conversation. Like Jordan can be 2. He's better than Jordan. No one's ever going, LeBron's the GOAT. That fucking Jordan guy, though, not even top 5. Like, no one's saying that because it's so dumb to say that. We all know that Michael Jordan, he very well could be the greatest basketball player of all time. I don't think he is. I think all you've got is the 6-0. I think in every other meaningful stat, in every meaningful situation, in every other just aspect of the game of basketball, LeBron James is better at it. That's just my opinion. But I'm not sitting here and say, well, Michael Jordan's not even number 2. Like, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, I know Michael Jordan is either 1A or 1B, right? And LeBron's not 4th. You're ridiculous. If you think that Kobe Bryant is better than LeBron, I've got fucking an island I want to sell you. If you think Tim Duncan is better than LeBron, I've got fucking land I want to sell you. Who else? Walt, Kareem? I don't like who the fuck else is better than him? You're out of your fucking mind. Magic is not better than LeBron. No. Again, we're not getting into this, but no. What did Magic Johnson do better than LeBron? Magic Johnson?
Don't say it. Can I say it? Can I say it?
Say what?
Nailed bitches better than MJ.
Huh?
Magic nailed bitches better than MJ.
There you go.
That is fact.
Larry Bird over LeBron? Larry Bird knew how to do one thing.
Larry Bird needed Michael Jordan to be in a McDonald's commercial.
Like, come on, dude. LeBron James is going to play any of those guys and beat them one-on-one. Like, put him in a one-on-one game against any one of those guys, he's dogging them. Like, put LeBron James, let LeBron James start with the ball in a game to, like, 11. Okay, one hoop, half court. He is going to dominate. He's going to back them up. He's going to literally back them down into the paint, turn around, and lift the ball into the hoop every fucking time. So I don't know, but again, I'll argue when you say top 4, like playoff. Don't piss me off.
But 1A or 1B.
He's 1A or 1B, but Jordan guys are like, bro, LeBron, he's not even top 40. LeBron James, Ray is on crack. I don't think that's Ray. That's not Ray. I know when that's that one-tooth fuck playoff. I can hear the lisp through the computer.
that's good. Well
Ray.
played, Ray.
He said Dr. J. It's funny. It's Maple Talons, baby. Of course it is. It's funny because you were talking about. He was like, "Oh, I hope the Phillies see. I can't wait to see your bitch at the Guardians this year." I'm like, brother. I'm like, have you been a Phillies fan and it's ever been like a bad year? Like, I don't think you ever have. Pretty sure we've been riding this Phillies fandom since they were like the second best team in baseball. Let's go back to the Phillies like 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah, early thousand. Like,
Let's
oh,
go talk
yeah.
about them, Dr. J. You just got to go with the Philly thing. You got to go with the Philly themes. We're going to throw Dr. J in there.
Oh, it's such a fascinating argument. I usually just
And it's one of those things too, where like Kobe. I don't rest in peace, Kobe. Love Kobe to death. I think it's been long enough to where like for like 2 or 3 years after he died, I'm like, I'm not having the conversation of who's the GOAT anymore. Like I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to sit here and argue that Kobe Bryant isn't LeBron James and he's dead, right? Like especially the way he went out. Like rest in peace, Kobe. But like, I do think that it's been enough time to where like I'm back to where if you try to tell me that Kobe is better than LeBron, I just get the fuck out of me. Kansas City Royals, Phillies, Jays, my whole childhood. You guys that fucking go.
boy,
You guys said that's a fucking go. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I definitely remember that. But yeah, I we'll see. I'm excited to see what MJ does. But I think Charles Barkley's probably right. I think that's probably more of. I doubt you're gonna get a lot of live MJ on TV. Like he's probably gonna, like I said, shoot some segments. They'll play him during the show. And whatever. I mean, dude, he's got such bad glaucoma, dude. I don't even know if I'm surprised he plays golf. Did anybody see how glossy his eyes are?
I have not.
You haven't?
No, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that wouldn't shock me at all. How old is LeBron or MJB? Like mid-60s? Oh,
Shit. I typed in Michael Jordan's eyes and
he's
Vice
crying.
did a entire article called "What's Up with Michael Jordan's Yellowish Eyes."
Okay, yeah. Poor MJ. Yeah. Come on, MJ.
Jaundice. That's what I meant. Jaundice.
Everybody loves some jaundice.
I meant
It's like
jaundice.
That's what babies get. That's fucking weird.
Dale is crazy quiet again. Yeah, it's because Dale was supposed to take his all his winnings from poker that one time.
I have a new one, and it doesn't work. Fuck. Was that better?
Yes.
I'm just gonna sit here like this then. It's gonna be great. We'll talk about hockey like this. It'll be wonderful.
I love it. Dale's crazy quiet against me. They were nasty late 2000s. Yeah, I mean, so I've seen hard years, bitch ass. Shut up, dude. Yeah, look, I understand. Like they were nasty with Jimmy Rounds and Chase Utley, and I actually worked with Ryan Howard's first cousin. Shout out Eddie Rax, my boy Eddie Rax.
Nice.
They look. I mean, the moment he told me they have the same nose, and if you guys know what Ryan Howard looks like, that is one schnoz. Okay, they look exactly alike. Once he told me that, I'm like, holy shit, you are absolutely Ryan Howard's cousin. Dale definitely fucks. Yeah, Dale didn't even know what you guys are talking about. Like Dale, I think we could hear you fine. That's what I feel. I think I can hear Dale too. And maybe I'm just used to him being silent. But yeah, so Dale the other night, since Dale doesn't check the Instagram ever anymore, it was so funny. Like he didn't work for the month of March, right? And he was so active on Instagram for about 6 days. Like you couldn't even message the collab lab without him being like the first guy.
Yep. and then
Like,
that stopped.
and then he just stopped. The guy
and
has
then
no idea what the fuck's going on. So
and then my social media prowess pretty much came to fruition. But
just
exactly
fell
what
off
it
the
is.
fucking boat, dude. And yeah, Tanner posted a put a video in the collab lab of him walking down the street with his mom, and he said something like, "Hey, tell my buddy Nick hi," and she said, "Hey, Nick," and then he said something like, "She called you a something I'm not going to say on YouTube because it's going to get us." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, tell mom I'm DTF for sure." And he was like, "I'll kill you," and I was like, I was like, she looks like somebody Dale would be into. I was like, we should probably hook Dale up. And then we all started getting on your, so all of us started talking about how we need to we basically told him that he would be selfish to not let you fuck his mother.
Yeah. Because I'm a mother lover, you're a mother lover. We should. No, I'm not going that far. Yeah, you know the song.
Yeah, you know it. But basically, yeah, dude, let Dale fuck. So
Yeah.
he'll be your stepdad, dude. Nice Canadian dual citizenship stepfather. That'd be sick, dude.
That'd be outstanding.
That'd be fucking cool, dude.
Sorry,
But
excuse me.
yeah, dude. So that was a chat we had in our group. But
I
um,
should pay more attention, but I just don't use social media.
I know, I know,
I'm
I know.
trying. I'm trying. I suck.
It's all right.
I'm old.
It's
I'm
all right.
40. Get off my fucking lawn.
All right, boys, leave chat. Tanner, we're done. We're sorry. We're leaving anyway. We're leaving anyway. We're getting ready to hop off here. We've actually come to the conclusion of our show.
That was only supposed to be an hour. Look at
Oh,
us
it's supposed to
go.
be an hour. We got an hour and a half. So this is the way it goes. That's just the way it is here, baby.
There was some F1, some darts talk. You got a little bit of everything today,
A little bit
and
of
free
everything.
healthcare.
Free healthcare, Tan Man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Free healthcare. And you still are missing a front tooth.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. Good hockey smile. Good
Go get it
Canadian
fixed,
kid.
dude.
Go get it fixed. Good Canadian kid.
Fucking unbelievable. But all right, guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here before I throw up thinking about his missing tooth and just Canadians in general. So, but we really appreciate you guys, man. Look, long weekend said it was gonna be live on Friday. Guess what? We weren't live on Friday. Because look, I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing. Here's my future thinking. I'll let you guys know if this is the way it's gonna go. But I'm starting to think we might go to Tuesday, Thursdays. I don't know. I'm just trying to think just because the way my schedule's kind of moving and things that are coming up, it might work a little bit better, and we can then stop saying we're going to be here on a day and then not be here on a day and then just get them. But I'm trying to figure out what's going to work the best. I mean, we have to be kind of,
Mhm.
we got to be a little flexible here. So,
And
um,
Thursday works good for the NFL. We can watch bad Thursday night football
bad
games.
Thursday night. See, but then that's what I'm saying. But then I also don't want to do that. Like I liked talking and then watching them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
so I don't know. The problem is that my work is getting super busy. Fridays are getting busy. I'm running some guys that I work with around after work, trying to get them home and do shit. And then my sister's all her games last year. So she's in this league that plays just tournaments one night a week type thing. And last year it was Tuesday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday was probably go. This year they're Wednesday. So
Fucking sister.
it's just stupid. So we'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, make sure you guys. Sorry that we didn't get to go live Friday. It's been a long weekend. It was a long weekend. I hope you guys all had a great long Memorial Day weekend here in the States, at least. You guys in Canada had yours last weekend, so fuck you guys. You guys had it. We had it this week. Hope you guys had a great one, man. If you guys had a great Memorial Day, if the weather was nice and permitted it, hopefully you guys got to barbecue, go out, hang out, do fun stuff today.
Eat
That's always good
tacos.
shit. But we really appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out tonight. Tanner, Playoff or Maple Talent. My bad. I keep calling you Playoff, but I got to get used to that. So Maple Talons. Shout out to all the Collab Lab, man. Really appreciate you guys. We'll be back here on Wednesday, right here, 7 p.m. Central, X and YouTube. There'll be plenty of going on. We'll see if maybe the Hurricanes go home tonight, and we will see where all these basketball games and stuff fall until then, see where the series are at by then. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. Hit that follow button if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please hit that like button. It really helps the stream. I really appreciate that. If you guys can just hit that thumbs up, we really appreciate it. Hit that notification button so you guys get notified when we go live. Share it to a friend. If you're on X, man, share the stream, hit like, give us a follow, jump in the comments, scan that QR code. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Action Network if you guys are bettors. Sports bets, we got 3 to 5 every single day. They're 100% free. Just follow us on Action Network, and you will get notified the moment we lock those in. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for watching Derelict Sports. Thank you guys. Appreciate you so much. See you guys Wednesday.